I love that comment. The most important thing is to know what you don't know. And one of your biggest, most successful investments was Liquid Death with Mike Cesario. How did you filter him through that phrase?
So Mike knows something better than anyone I know, which is like how to build a brand. And his process in building that company before it launched, of testing ideas on Instagram to see what people would react to, it felt very scientific and very tech forward. And so although it was a water company, we just looked at water as a huge market, but it's going to be this tech-enabled content brand, which is what it is. I mean, they sell a lot of merchandise, they sell watches, they sell all sorts of stuff. People love the brand. And so it was pretty obvious what he didn't know, which is everything. But that's why he
brings on a great
surrounded
team.
himself
Yes.
with investors like us, hungry for how do you build a business, how do you hire, how do you fire, how do you employee compensation, how much equity should we be
And he was
using for
very,
VP level?
very humble about all of that. And that's what really shows in an entrepreneur that's
Isn't
going to be
hu-
successful.
Humility is everything,
Yes,
isn't
it is. It
Yeah.
really is.
Here we are at this digital marketing conference. We're supposed to be talking about high-tech digital marketing. You guys are guerrilla marketers along with paid and all the other crazy types of marketing. Tell us a little bit about that. I mean, tell us a little bit about how much guerrilla marketing means to you versus the other paid sources.
So I was taught by our marketing guru, Catherine Bateman, who's been with us for 30 years, helping us with our brands on all the different companies we've started and investments. And she said, you have to do it all from the beginning, right? You can't just say, oh, we're only doing digital ads, or we're only gonna do print. That's not gonna move your brand forward. You have to do it all. I personally love being kind of outrageous and creating messages that last, because at the end of the day, you want to have a brand that lasts forever. Even though you might have to pivot the business model, you want that brand to make other people feel something, and you can't do that just with one medium. And I don't care how digital the world gets, as long as the messages hit home, however you want to deploy them is the way to do it. I don't know how you feel.
Yeah, it reminds me, we're just talking about Liquid Death. Mike taught me something incredible about marketing, which is think about the headline you're creating before you do the marketing,
Exactly.
right? And so a lot of the stunts that Liquid Death has done, all great brands that we did
Right.
at Buddy Media with South by Southwest and coffee carts and all this stuff, starts with a headline, right? Like something, an idea, content that is worthy of being shouted. And so if you think about it from a content standpoint, all of a sudden when I think of guerrilla marketing, you often think of it, this isn't scalable, like it's only gonna reach a certain amount of people, but with a camera and the internet and TikTok and Instagram and everything else,
Social.
whatever you do goes everywhere, whether you're Taylor Swift walking into a wedding or Liquid Death doing a taste test between sweat on a guy's back or their water, which they did as a campaign. So it's just kind of great ideas that spread fast.
I love the title of your new book. Do I get it right? Shoveling Shit?
That's right.
And
It's a
as
love story. Yeah.
There you go. And as entrepreneurs, we've all shoveled a lot of shit.
Every day.
And although my wife is not my partner in business, thank God she is my guardrails. You had talked earlier about the most shit you shoveled and some tragedy in your entrepreneurial
So
experience.
the most shit that we've shoveled actually I think has been as investors. We've seen stuff, with 100 companies, we see a lot of stuff. One, was majority owned by a Russian oligarch who happened to be in New York, great guy who we knew well. He was put on the do not touch list, the sanctions list that Kim Jong-un and all these guys are on, which means the bank accounts are frozen. You have to start shoveling real shit, get to the Treasury Department, talk to OFAC, and really, make things happen. We've also almost run out of money, golf.com. We've had to pivot 4 times at Buddy Media. And most days involved shoveling shit, employees quitting, employees having health issues, you know, offices flooding, name it, right? Like, you're an entrepreneur, like, think of any day, like, think of yesterday. And so the idea resonated with us is like, you just have to keep going. And what's different between entrepreneurs and everyone else is I think we grow to love it. And we say like, yeah, we don't love all of it, like it's hard, but there's nothing we'd rather do. We don't want to sit behind a desk. We don't want to have a regular job. We don't want to, you know, do anything else but shovel shit.
Yeah, I think if you're a real entrepreneur, you've shoveled a lot of shit.
I agree.
Yeah.
Michael and Kass, thank you so much.
you. Thanks
And
for
thank
having
you
us.
for joining us in YPO, and your presentation was fantastic. I look forward to the book.
Thank you.
Safe travels.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You
You
too.
too.